Good evening, everybody, and it's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. Hi, Alice.
Hi there, Paul. Yeah, it's lovely to be back again. Thank you for asking me back.
It's brilliant to have you back. Shall we get spiritual talk started?
Yeah,
Let's do
absolutely.
it.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do
go,
it.
Paul. Let's go.
We are live. Hi, everyone. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
And how you doing, Alice?
I'm doing fine, Paul. I'm absolutely fine. Just getting organised for Christmas, so it's all a bit manic at the moment.
Yeah.
But
And how cold is it? How cold is it up there in Scotland?
well, it was -5 last night. It is very, very cold. Very cold. Yeah. You certainly got your warmers on underneath your clothes.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I had a bit of bad luck last night. All my plants died in my cabin. It hit -5, and I forgot to put my heating on, so I'm a bit upset. I've lost all my
Yeah.
plants.
Oh no.
I'm
Oh
not happy. Never mind. These things happen. That will teach me. We don't normally get -5 down in
no.
Norfolk.
No. Oh no, that's true. And you've had snow as well, have you not?
Yeah, we've had down in. Someone told me down in Harlow. Hi, Dave, if you're listening. They had 8 inches in Harlow.
Oh, we have no snow yet. No snow in Scotland yet.
No, nor in Norfolk. So long may that be. So anyway, we're chatting away. Sorry, guys. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jamie Lee and Trudy Kane and Serena and Jade. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you all. And Kelly Hewitt. Some new names as well on there. It's awesome. But we got a great guest this week. I can't be really excited. And also Judith is going to do a little exercise with us later as well to get something from Spirit World, which is going to be
exciting. Yeah.
And not only that, I'm going to be working with you, Alice. It's the first time, so I'm so looking forward to doing messages with you.
Oh, lovely! Right, yeah, it's lovely.
Be awesome. Did you want to introduce Judith and bring her in?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's welcome Judy. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to welcome tonight Judith Miller from Ireland, Northern Ireland, I believe. And she's a spiritual, physical phenomena medium, healer, and qualified advanced life spiritual coach. And she trained by her own spirit team. So tonight's going to be an interesting chat. And let's welcome Judith to the show.
Hi, Judith. How you doing?
Hi, everyone. Lovely to join you.
Welcome to Spiritual Talk.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. We always ask, how did it all start for you? How did you start to becoming a medium?
As a child, I've always heard, seen, and felt spirit, but nobody else did. So they used to think I was just this over-imaginative child that used to see things and hear things. But it actually scared me because at the time I thought there's nobody else seeing this, hearing this. So I used to call them the shadow people. But I also used to talk about the gentleman in the attic. My mum raised us on her own. So I got to the stage where he would lift the attic door and peek out and smile. But as a child, it was quite nerving because
I was going to say I'd be out the door and down the street. I'm not going back there. I'm old boy looking out the loft. That's quite scary. Is it me or?
But at the time it was. But looking back now, I understand it all. But at the time I didn't. I got to the stage where I was so annoyed and kind of frustrated because nobody would believe what I could see or what I could hear or how I always seemed to know what was going to happen. So my mum got my uncle over, and I knew they weren't going to find anything in the attic because they don't see. And so they didn't. So I shut it out for a long time. I shut as much as I could of it out for a long time. But I was still always hearing, I'm still always that knowing in advance. And I became a mother myself, and I realized that I needed to be more open with them. And so they did not experience what I experienced. And slowly but surely, I was mostly drawn back to it because I seen an angel. And I was on my own. I was driving my car, and she was just levitating in just in front of me, and I just knew it was the right time to go and push on and listen to them.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
I can understand the attic. Sorry.
No, go ahead. It's all right.
I understand the attic as well, because the same thing happened to me. Was a man in the attic when I was young, and very young. So I was laughing when you said that, because the same thing happened with me as well.
Did it scare you?
I was a bit scared, I'll be honest, because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was going on. So yeah, I was a bit scared of it. Yeah, I was. But then a little bit like yourself, because you're told that it's your imagination and you've got a vivid imagination and there's nobody there and stop that nonsense, then you try to kind of block it yourself. So I understood what you meant by that.
Yeah, yes, you do feel very strange because you think people look at you in a different way. So a lot of my family didn't actually know how in tune I was with spirit, because I just thought, just and until even my mum, but I got my gift from my mum, but hers was through her faith. But she doesn't realize even now that she's giving messages and she's giving messages. She's 83. So she's seen it as her faith. She's been doing it all her life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still blown away about you two and the guy in the loft.
Maybe the same guy.
I used to have, if Mother's listening, I don't know if you're listening, Mother, but I had the loft hatch in my bedroom, and the wind used to blow it up, and I'd be out the bedroom, down the stairs. I'm not going up there, Yeah. So I had a fear of the dark, and so it's not the greatest, is it? It can shut you down.
Yep. I was scared of the dark. It made me scared. Yeah. As a child, it made me scared.
Yeah, I was as well. I slept with the light on. I slept with the wee bedside light on.
Yes. Yes. I don't want to admit this, but yeah, I did as well. I tell the lie. I can actually say to you, as an adult, this is terrible to admit this, I've actually been so scared. I saw so much phenomenon one night, and I had to sit up. There was nobody else in the house, and it happened in the house I was staying. I had to sit there all night with the light on. I was petrified. As an adult, it was that phenomenal. What I saw was unbelievable, but it also had the opposite effect of scaring me. So, and that was as an adult, as a rational thinking. I just saw so much. It really blew me away. So, but why do you think that was to both of you? Why do you think you had that experience of a man in a loft?
Well, I know for me, he was one of my guides.
Okay.
He wasn't actually like a visitor or with that height. He was one of my guides. And they would say to me now, I have a great relationship with them. I would call them my best friends, and they would laugh about it now. I would laugh about it now, but at the time I didn't.
No.
I used to hear them moving the ornaments and moving the furniture up the stairs, and I would be like, I used to go halfway up, and then it would stop, and they would just stop, and then as soon as they come downstairs, you would hear them moving everything around again. But I believed, because my mom grew up through the church, her faith, she's had a strong faith all her life since a child. I knew I was always protected.
Yeah.
And I've always been really drawn to angels, very strongly all my life to angels. And as a child, you know, I've always been taught about, you know, God. And so I always believed that I was very much, you know, protected. And I believe I was, and I am still, yeah. Very
Absolutely.
much so.
Absolutely.
Do you think having a religious upbringing though could have blocked you in some ways, or not?
Well, do you know, this is some part of what I'm passionate about. And people would go, oh, but you're focusing on the angels. I'm not focusing on the angels. As a child, because my mum, it's not that we were brought up in a religious in the sense, because my mum brought us up on her own. She had 3 children. That was her social life. She was brought up. All her family weren't religious. It was just my mum. It was a strong faith within my mum, but part of it was her spiritualism. She didn't realize. But nobody taught me about the angels.
Okay.
I went to Sunday school and I learned about God and I learned about, but nobody ever sat down and helped me understand how much the angels help us. And they help us in everyday life massively, you know, and so much. Part of it then, when I was kind of going into my teenager, you know, church was getting I found it quite conservative, and it was very strict. They were pushing, and that just pushed me away. So I've always tried to help people understand that we all have angels. The archangels help us, you know. I don't see myself as a religious. I see myself as a faith with God universal, because there's so many ways they help us. So I don't restrict myself to, I see myself as faith, not just religion.
Yeah.
I was wondering, obviously when we were children, we were told it was our imagination, and a lot of talk never got spoke about. But now I do believe for sure that that is getting more spoke about within families now. And like yourself, you've spoke to your children about it and brought them up this way, like I have done with mine, as it to be a natural movement of us. But it's not the case for everyone. So do you think it should be maybe more introduced a little bit more on in the fact of in schools, perhaps, about being aware of our own soul, or you know, and our own spiritual self coming into life, and making that kind of fear go away as it's a natural process of us, you know, and maybe introducing that a little bit in schools, without it causing a fear, more something so beautiful, because it is beautiful. It is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I totally agree with you, Alice. You've touched on a few subjects. A lot of people are very still behind in the old ways of mediumship.
Yeah.
And some people believe that the soul doesn't, you know, you're not connected spiritually until the child is born, until this. I have so many people, they'll send me their scan. I have scan photos at the minute, only I haven't the permission to share them, or you would blow your mind if you've seen these. The guides, the spirit of, they're cradled in their arms, the baby in the womb. And so we're very much protected. Our spirit teams are with us in the womb. As for children, part of my mission is to help. I actually help families and parents who have spiritually aware children personally, because of my own experience and how it scared me, and I had nobody. Because it is very, I find mediumship, and I think that's why my spirit team decided, right, we're going to teach you this way. And I find it very rigid and very controlled still. So, for instance, our children are up now. Our youngest is 18, and they're all spiritual, but I let them find their own way. But our daughter, she goes astral traveling in her dreams. She just has this remote and she's away, and she's an amazing manifester, and she will everything she dreams of, it'll come true. But what you say in school is so true, because right now our grandson, who is Tim, he is so spiritual, like so over the top, sensitive, spiritual. And he struggles to fit in. His teacher struggles with him because he's sensitive. He's not like everyone else. And like we done, if I can show you this, he loves art, he loves creativity. And he said to me, can you do me a painting? Because I like to be creative too. And he says, and I paint you an angel. So he painted me this angel.
That's lovely.
And I painted him Mickey Mouse because he's obsessed with Mickey Mouse. But we both did the exact same color blue background that nobody knew we were doing. And every night he says to me, Nanny, my guardian angel, I see comes through on my painting every single night. And is it true that your guardian angels and your protecting angels, can they show themselves in different ways? And I went, they will show themselves in the way that you're comfortable, that you're feeling safe with them around you. And he says, because my guardian angel has a 6-pack, Nanny. But he honestly, he knows the solar system inside and out. Like he knows the crystals that's connected to the solar system. He's so in tune, and he's that inner knowing, but really strong. And my guides have always said to me, if we help our children growing up, instead of making them feel that this is wrong, this is different, we are actually changing the generations to come. We're changing the society, people's opinions, and really strong mediums. And we're making a massive difference to the world in general with our children and our generations coming forward. I absolutely believe that it should. I help, and one of the ladies that's with me in my development circles is a teacher of children. And she finds that she actually said to me the same. It's a pity. She's in Canada. And she says it's such a pity that this isn't discussed in schools, because it would it would be such a game changer. Definitely, I agree. I think it should be, Alice.
Yeah, that is a toughie though, because of the different faiths within the school, different systems, and I think it's going to be more of a, as we go through life, and we'll open up to it more. So it's always difficult. That it's such a niche subject as well. Not many people are open to it. But I know so much I want to ask you about, Judith. And I know we're going to run out of time really quickly. Before we go on to your spiritual surgery healing, which I find really fascinating, I wanted to go back and talk about the angels. Now, it's easy for us and sit here. We talk about the angelics and what they do for creation and creator. But in your opinion, what is the specific role of the angelics, the angels? What do they do for you? Is it just for humanity? Is it for creation? How do you see all of that coming together? What is there a defined role for the angels? Because people will be sitting at home not understanding what the angelics do.
Yeah. A lot of people box the angels, when I work with angels, they'll say to me, it's human has the time. Human mankind pick times. We don't have times. It's human, and that boxes the angels, the choirs, the archangels. And we try to teach humanity and who we work with that we're all equal. We're all the same. It's just this shell is different. We might work differently, but we're all equal to each other. And the angels very much see themselves as that with us. For Archangel Michael, Yes, they're given specific roles, by God, by the divine, which is he's seen as the protector, our protector. But all our guides will protect us. God will protect us. But Archangel Michael is also, you can call on Archangel Michael if you have a legal case, if you have studies, exams, students. He is also one of God's main healers. The 4 healers. But they all help us so much. Archangel Uriel, he would work through our solar plexus. He's so much knowledge and wisdom, and his color is yellow too. But if we have to go and do a public speech and we're worrying about, am I going to tongue tie my word, or call Archangel Uriel forward. They help you. He will help you just speak as you want to say it. They all help us in so many different ways. We've got guardian angels around us at all times, and I think that's how they're with us at all times. And we've more than one guardian angel, but the archangels, and they won't interfere, and they won't change things in our path or our life unless we ask them to. They won't interfere. But if we ask for their help, they're more than happy to help us in any way. Like Archangel Gabriel. At the minute, I'm actually saying to my students, they're studying through books. Mm-hmm. And I said to them, stop studying through the books. Work with your archangels. They do things that you won't find in books. Connect with your archangels. If I help find missing loved ones who have maybe passed, but their loved ones they've been lost, I will always work through Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel will bring the loved one forward. But if we work through our angels and get to know them, there's so much they can help us with, so much every single day on just our daily lives, as well as our spiritual paths.
So, sorry, Alice.
You're fine.
Question. We promised that we was going to do one each tonight, don't we? Wanna? Yeah. I've just got a question that spins off of that. I'm so sorry, Alice. Okay, so I believe in the Creator. I believe in the Source. I believe in this omnipresent power, the creation, the Source. And I believe if you have a relationship with that Creator, I was always of the understanding that the angelic support and hold all of creation, therefore they are God. So could we not then, this is going to sound awful, typical bloke talking now, right?
No,
could we not just cut out the middleman, just talk to the old boy himself upstairs, if you know what I'm saying? Have that relationship with your Creator. Is it because we feel like we don't like to ask him that we kind of go sideways to the angelics? Why can't we have that? God, I sound really religious now. Why can't we then also equally have that relationship with Creator?
But I do.
That make sense? Okay. Do you see what I'm saying now? We can compartmentalize certain things when I think it's all of one. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. I mean, this is all very opinion based. I know, and everyone's
a lot of people think when you say archangels, they'll see the pictures Archangel Michael standing with his sword, the shield, the armor. It's important to remember the archangels are love and light beings. They're divine light. So a lot of people go, universal, not of this world, extraterrestrial. Oh, that's not true. Our angels are actually not of this world. They are part of the divine. They do work with the divine, and they are part of our spirit teams. And when we're blending our spirit with them, we are all one. So I don't split the two.
My gosh, we should make this a separate subject. Just talk about the angels.
Sorry, I separate the two because it's hard to explain, but I definitely we work with God and everything else, and we work through his blessing and we're service to him. But the angels help us in so many ways. We just sometimes don't understand.
Yeah. So therefore, the question would be off of that: what aliens or aliens, angels or aliens mean? Do you understand what I mean? Where do they fit in the whole of creation? We're told they support and do God's work.
Yes, but I.
Do you know? Let's not go there because we
They
want to know more
they
about
were
you.
here way before mankind was
Yeah.
here. Let's put it that way. They were here.
Over to you, Ice. I'm going to shut up.
There's just a question's just come up there. Someone's saying, asking him, children and babies, are they angels?
Oh.
We're all born pure. We're all born innocent. We all come here knowing who we are. We come here. There's many earth angels. Many angels. There's angels amongst us. We don't all have wings. And
That's right.
There's many earth angels. Mm-hmm. And in God's eyes, all children are pure and innocent. And I would call them angels because they're all spiritual. They all remember. They all see. They all hear. I actually help. That's why I help, because if we keep that child and we help that child, instead of saying, "Oh, you big imagination," and this, if we encourage that child and go, "Well, what was it like? And what was their name? And what did you see? And what?" They're actually building a really strong connection with their spirit team from an early age. So I truly believe as children, you come here very angelic, very pure, and very innocent. Society changes us. Yeah.
So off that, okay, because then what is the matter with me tonight? I feel like I'm sitting on a fence. I'm so sorry, ladies.
Yeah, grand.
There's been a lot of research into life after death and past life experiences, and some people believe, especially the Asian Eastern philosophies, when a child is born with scars and marks from a previous lifetime, if they've got those scars and marks from a previous lifetime, how can they be a pure soul? Do you see what I'm saying? Because I don't know, because I kind of struggle with that concept. I mean, I believe in past lives. I've had some interesting experiences myself. Indeed, we interviewed Paul Goddard, who practices regression therapy.
So, yeah.
And you've done that, So it's a really interesting concept. You always see, though, to be fair, you always see the light. It's like that program when one's born every minute, the babies that are born. The parents are quite dysfunctional, but as soon as the baby comes out, they all come together. There's this amazing sense of spirit and the beauty of it. So I'm kind of like, I struggle with the concept of us being angelic and pure. Although we are part of the divine, we're told we're part of the divine spark. Yeah.
I'm very much into past lives. For a long time, I kept getting told to do Akashic records, and I was like, I'm not into Akashic records. Like, I just love to talk. Just keep talking to me. I'm not interested in. But then I understood, and past life is a massive, massive part of our development.
Yeah.
So every single life, we're not going back, we're not going forward. They're all parallel. They're all different paradigms. We're all parallel. They're all happening parallel. So what's affecting us in this life? We've been able to prove in past life regression, taking someone back to a past life, going through detail by detail, things that affected them, and them healing and dealing with that trauma in that life. Coming back into this life, when they come round and come out of it, they'll go, that's so uncanny, because that's like what's happening in my life. And and they can't believe it's so on point. But also I believe spirit's very respectful, and because we forget, they haven't forgot. They know exactly. They know the path. They know us. They know everything still. We just forget. So past life's very important. We're here to remember as well, to remember and acknowledge all those. I've been able to pinpoint quite a few of my past lives. And one of my past life, I was Ruth from the Bible, the line of Jesus. I was given a spiritual name, and everybody else got spiritual names, and they gave me mine. No, they said to me, you know what yours is? And I was like, I don't actually. And they went, you do. And then they said to me, your spiritual name is Ruth. And friends of mine that I'd met 20 years before this had always called me Ruth. And I'm going, why are you calling me Ruth? I'm not Ruth, I'm Judith. And they would go, I don't know, you just look like a Ruth. It turns out mine's came with the silver cross. And I couldn't understand, why is mine with the silver cross then, when other people's just a name? So my guide says to me, Judith, this is the jigsaw. You need to piece this together.
Yeah.
And see, when you piece each lifetime together and you fully interact with that life, it's like ping. Your feet are like lead boots, and it's very hard to explain, but it's very, very important for our healing process and for our development and abilities. It's important.
Yeah, I could understand that. Is it? I was reading some of what you do, and is it correct though when you work with children that are missing? And I know that you have managed to retrieve some, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you get that information from the angels, or do you get it from a different divine purpose, of spirit,
I have a guide, Emma.
Yeah.
That's what she specifically works with me with. That there. I'm very much for if the family or the loved ones come and ask me, that's certainly, I will always oblige. I will always freely work and help anyone. But I always still say to them, I need to go and ask for permission now from my spirit team, because it's important my spirit team give me the permission as well. So again, I would go and I ask him, and I ask in prayer, I ask God. And if I'm given permission, Archangel Gabriel comes forward with the loved one. Last year, I found I actually hadn't heard from it, but he had been missing nearly 3 weeks. And he came to me, and my guide, Emma, brought him forward, but also Archangel Gabriel, and then Emma and the gentleman. And he was so lovely, but he never left me for 4 days. He stayed with me for the full 4 days. He told me where he would be. He told me where he was, what happened. He validated family things that I couldn't have possibly knew. I described what he was wearing, why he was where he was, and if the search and rescue had called off the search because it's so long. So they got the search and rescue back. He said to me, if they listen, they will find, this was on the Saturday night, they will find me on the Tuesday, and they will find me. This is where, and I drew like a map where he had shown me, and he was found on the Tuesday where he had said. And afterwards, I actually had such an emotional outburst. I was actually going to collect my daughter from school, and I was, my heart, I was grieving for my own. And I said to my guys, look, please clear my energy. This is so overpowering right now. It's the strongest I'd ever felt, because he never left me for 4 days. And he turned out he was very well known. And they said to me, it's the grief. You're feeling all the outpouring of the grief for this gentleman. But in saying that, I would keep doing it. As much as you feel that grief, the reward to give that family closure or to help for the children who are missing, that's what it's about. It's giving that child and that family closure, and that's a lot for. It makes a lot. I know if it was my family, I would be very great. I would want your loved one home. Yeah. So, but you do. It's very intense. Very intense.
Yeah.
Can I ask why in that process? I mean, that's a beautiful thing that you've done, by the way, and what a wonderful thing to find someone's loved one. Well, one, do you find people that have been gone a long time, like mystery cases, or is that too long? And also, why would you ask permission? I thought that was quite an interesting thing to say.
Why I ask permission is because I have had other mediums contact me and say, look, I've got this loved one in spirit, and they're wanting to do it. They're telling me this, they're telling me this, they're telling me this. But their mum and dad keep thinking they're alive.
Oh.
And I'm going, but we should never interfere in somebody else's life. As much as we know and we want to help, it has to be right for that family. Why I ask my spirit team is, I always say, they're so respectful to me. It used to be, it was drummed into me, put your boundaries in place, put your boundaries in place, put your boundaries in place.
Yeah.
But I have such an amazing connection with my spirit team that I don't need to keep putting, we respect each other's boundaries at all times. And they will only come forward to me if it's an emergency or something happens that they need to. But they very much, we've got this, like, we just know each other now in such a good way. But I do it out of respect because they provide so much. They work so hard to help us. And I just have this overwhelming feeling of, I feel I need to be respectful to spirit and give them their place like they give us ours.
Yeah.
So I that's why I would do it. As in old cases, how can I say? I'm not sure how much I can say, but I have helped. There's a case I'm helping with at the moment that's over 25 years old. I do record it. I record everything because I don't remember what I'm passing when we're working with spirit. And it was in the States, and the case was given to the police officers.
Okay.
And they come back and went, how could she have knew this? So there was stuff that hadn't been disclosed to the public, but I gave them. So it's ongoing with, at the minute, it's ongoing. It's been ongoing for over a year now. But yeah, there's no limit as to how far back you can go. If that family very much want that closure, then their loved one will always come forward and guide you and help them receive that closure.
Yeah.
So it closes that wee piece and gives the loved one, they know their family's got the closure and the family feel that closure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I was trying to get across was, as a medium, you're connecting with spirit world. So if you're asking, you're asking your spirit team or someone will come forward from spirit world, like it did with you, and actually say and start talking to you about what's happened to them and where they are. Why do you think it's like that, and it's not where you connect with your angels and you can go and just direct them to your angels, like Archangel Michael or Uriel or whatever angel you feel more connected to? Why do you think then they don't come forward then with more information to help with that?
The angels?
Yes.
When I take if there's a case or a situation that arises, I first spend the time with my angels, and I go into meditation, and although I'm awake, I'm nice and relaxed, so I spirit right, and Archangel Gabriel talks. Well, it's always been Archangel Gabriel for some reason. And he will always sit and explain before he brings the person forward. I will sit and I've done pages of writing about this, the gentleman or the child or the lady. And so I do work with them. And it's only then I always ask to speak, look, please, can I connect to a family member? It's because I know to have that family member come forward, and even if it's on video call, that connection, it's even that in itself is giving some sort of closure, because you're validating information that you couldn't possibly know. So they know their loved one is with you. Plus, you know, I can see them, they're showing me them, I can describe what they're wearing. And so I do work with my guides and angels first.
So it's a combination of it all, really, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And your spirit is love, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Afterwards, and that last year, and the gentleman, he turned out he was a male model. He was lovely. I didn't know until afterwards. He gave me the most beautiful song afterwards, and he came back and thanked me. Once I had got all the emotions out of the way, he came back and thanked me, and that was lovely. It was nice.
Yeah. You do so much as well, Judith. We haven't an hour's not enough to fit it all in. It really isn't. Can I ask you, if you don't mind, talk about your spiritual surgery healing?
Yes, it surprised me because I do divine healing. I've done some of Reiki. But my guides told me I was to stop focusing on the old way about certificates for this, certificates for that. And I was to just go with my heart and work from my heart. And a lot of the time we control ourselves. We still control how we work with spirit instead of getting out of our own way and trusting our spirit team unconditionally. Yeah. So I have very much been doing divine healing for some time, and I can do it via Zoom. And then it suddenly changed. I know I had one of my guides is Abraham, but he comes to me. He was always coming to me as Father of Faith, because I work with Jacob, who is his son, and we turn out we've got a dog, just got a dog last year called Benjamin. So it's so strange, but anyway, it's all synchronized. But anyway, he always came to me as Father of Faith. He's a very, very high guide. Okay. And then as I was doing the healing, it started to change, and I could feel that they were starting. It started with Abraham, and he was starting. And I had to say to the person, look, he's actually going to. I feel what they feel. I feel every single thing. Are you happy for him to go in deeper to your leg or into your back, like in a spiritual surgery way? Because this is what he's asking me to do. So when he comes forward in that sense, he's Egyptian. He's coming forward to me in a different lifetime when he's coming to do the surgery. So he comes forward as in the Egyptian. And then I was working with him, and I was helping people, and they were going, I actually can straighten my leg, and I haven't been able to walk or straighten my leg for years. And so I could feel them like working. You can feel them pressing. You can feel them inside the knee, the back. And then to my surprise, I ended up with a surgical team, and I was kind of knocked off my feet a wee bit, to be honest, because I was helping a healing set. I do free healing sessions, and I could see these four, and it was like, you're being assessed right now by four. It takes me back sometimes, because things move very quickly with me, because I think I just go with them. So I have four. I've got John. John's from JON. He's from South Africa. I've got Nigel. I've got Michael, who's not Archangel Michael, but another Michael. And then I've got Abraham. And they work in different parts. So Abraham's skeleton, your bones and things. John is very much to do with cells, cancer cells, things like that there. Nigel's very much to do with the muscular, the tendons and things like this. And Michael's very much the medical. So what I've started doing is I've actually been bringing in one of the ones that I help in my circle, who is going to be doing very well with her healing. I've actually started bringing her in for her to take notes, because I'm doing things that I don't even realize that I could do. And I'm fully awake. It's the same as all my physical phenomena. I'm fully awake. I just don't remember what I say or what I do. So I don't need to know your condition. As soon as, say, you come in, they come in, the four of them, I will see them around you. They will be chatting. They will be assessing you. They will be telling me information as to where they feel they need to work, what they're picking up on, and or what they're doing. And then if they're happy enough for them to start, I feel everything that each patient feels, I feel anyway. I feel the same. So I can feel exactly where they're working and what they're doing, if they're removing bits or whatever. So I am helping cancer patients. I'm actually also helped a lady who's got scoliosis, and her spine, they're straightening her spine.
Wow.
And she is walking. She says, I have been 20 years, I've been trying to get the help. And in 3 sessions, I'm walking. Like, the difference in what I'm doing is amazing. So Spirit has said to me that it's ourselves. We stop ourselves. It's this belief that we can only do such and such, when we can self-heal. We can heal cancer. We can heal bones. We can heal tissues. We can heal so much. It's ourself that prevents us. We feel we have to learn, or we have to work to a certain way, and then that's how it works. Whereas there's so much, we're stopping ourselves from going forward and doing so much more.
Yeah,
we are. But it's amazing. It is amazing. So I'm very humbled and blessed that it's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah. It's very interesting though as well, you know, how someone's just asked they thought you were a trance medium, but you're not a trance medium. Is that correct? That's right. So you're not a trance medium. I think it's Camino Crystals has said.
Yeah.
I think it's because you're not. Yeah, but you still don't. You still, although you are awake, you are obviously in some altered state as well. You know, and it's a bit like when you do a demonstration of mediumship. I don't remember. I'll maybe remember snippets of it, but I don't remember most of what my demonstration's like. And so it's a bit like that in a way, really, isn't it? You know, with some, where you need someone to write down what's going on when you're doing the psychic healing. It's a little bit like that. I feel like when you're doing a demonstration, I really would need someone to write it down, what I'm actually, who I went to, what they did, and because I can only remember little bits of it. I don't remember all. When people come up to you at the end, it's like, oh, thank you. You know, I'm glad that I was able to help. It's not me, it's spirit world. You know, because I really don't recall. Yeah,
I do remember the physical. I don't remember anything that I passed to them, or it's like when you're doing a reading, I don't remember, or if I do my lives, I don't remember, but I do remember the physical. So I do know the areas that I'm working on that person, but they will, my spirit team, the surgical spirit team, what I like to do is I like to close my eyes, because I can see them so much stronger and it's like I can see it in so much more detail. But even when I'm doing the physical phenomena and they're moving things off, I've started because I always do it, and I'm fully coherent. I'm repeating, I'm telling them what's happening and when it's going to move and everything that's going to happen. And so now I've started watching because I do like 3-hour lives. And people would say to me, why do you do lives so long? But again, there's nothing stopping us from doing a 3.5 hour live. It's ourself. We believe that we can only have the energy to do an hour and a half. But if we are working our energy and working with our spirit team correctly, we can do longer. And because I like to help as many as I can, I do a long live. But I am awake, so I've started now watching, and because I never watch them back. So I've started watching now and going, right, it's going to go. So now I've started enjoying watching instead of, just focusing on my energy. We're all still learning. Spirits still throw things at me, and I just work with it until I get the right way, and then they'll go, right. They'll not make it easy and say, right, do it like this. They very much let you find how to work that way. They'll tell you can do it, and then you have to figure that out. So but it's good. I like it. I have to say, I like the way they put me in the spot. They put me on the spot so many times. So, but I am awake. I am awake. I just don't remember the information. Why I've asked somebody to stay in with me is because I'm still getting to know my spirit team, and the spirit like to talk. So I have someone taking notes so that they can send it to me and go, because I'm open to spirit, I'm not remembering the conversations. Mm-hmm. But actually, I'm not even with my eyes closed. The last session, I was awake, but I didn't feel like I had control of my hands. And I was doing stuff with my hands, but I was like talking like this, but it wasn't me moving my hands, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
There's so much I want to ask you. So little time to fit it all in. And I'm sorry, guys, if you've been asking questions, we've been missing some of your questions. Carol Phillips has asked, though. Thank you, Carol. Do you regularly sit in the power to top up your energy?
I actually had a conversation. This actually came up in conversation with one of the ones in my development circle. And my guides, I know I don't. They're shorting at the end of it. They tell me, like, I used to, and they used to say to me, why do you keep following the old ways? There's more to sitting in the power. There's so much more. So no, Carl, I honestly don't. I love to meditate. I meditate a lot. I love to meditate. Our chakras is a massive part. How we work our chakras. A lot of people are like, not really into chakras. How we work our chakras and care for our chakras, and how we have that reserve of energy. But also, see, the stronger you build that bond with your spirit team, the stronger connection you have. Like, I have a really strong guy, and he's a shamanic guide. He's very protective, but he's a shapeshifter. But I don't. I have to say, I do not do this constant sitting in the power. I do a lot of meditation, and I do sit in the power. But I like to come up and just spend time in this space as maybe spiritual room. But I do a lot of work with my chakras. A lot of work with my chakras, and I'm very conscious of keeping my energy clear and clear and clean and cleansed and grinding I grind every day, because even if we don't do anything at all, but I have to say, my guides tell me there's so much more to sitting in the power. It's again our mindset. I think it's how we forget to move on with modern times, and spirit is like, I did a reading for a girl, and twice they've done this, and like, they shout over the computer. They will shout her name over the computer, and it's amazing because I record them, and they get to keep that. So for somebody who's maybe heard their loved one shout their name over the computer, now I don't control it. I don't say, right, shout now. I don't control that. Again, I let spirit, if what they want to do, if they want to move an object, hold a hand, if they want to shout, I just help accommodate them and help them, because there's so much more they can do for us.
Did I hear that right? You hear the loved one, so you're online in a one-to-one, and you hear the loved one sometimes shout over you?
Yeah, they shout their name. Yeah.
Wow.
Or sometimes, last week, every time I went to say something, like, say, I don't know what it was I was passing. You know, can you understand that? And they were going, yes. And I was going, and she was amazed because, and then I was going, okay, look, you know, do you just want to go ahead and talk and let me know whenever you want to talk, so I'm not talking over you. But no, they shout their, sometimes a lot of time they've shouted their names, and it is amazing. It's amazing. Spirit are so clever. We don't give
Absolutely.
them. Oh, we really don't see how strong they are and how quick, how clever.
Yeah, I've had it once in the cabin. Since I've been working from the cabin, I've had it once in here where a voice shouted in here. But yeah, it's really rare though. It's really rare. But there must be something about you that facilitates that. There must be something about your energy that creates that.
I don't know. I think because where I am, there's not a lot of outlets. We're quite small here, so there's not a lot of outlets. But because of the way I built my connection with my spirit team, and actually, see, looking back, angels and feathers, I have books that I look back on, and I've stuck feathers in them. Like I'm talking maybe 10 years ago, and then I started delivering feathers from heaven live, and I was like, this is so uncanny, because like who would have thought those things were connected then? But yeah, I don't know why, but I've done feathers from heaven live on air on TikTok, and it's there, and it's exactly where they're loved. They say to them, can you leave the room? Or they'll say to them to go to a different room where it is, or they come back, and yes, it's I don't know what it is. I just trust them. I trust them. I trusted them to show and guide me, and they have guided me and taught me, and they've just taught me very different. But they also want me to teach others. They don't want the control. I think what happens is I learned to say, okay, I'm not going to control my journey. This has to be like this. Show me more. Show me what I'm capable of. And they're definitely doing it. And we can all do that. It's ourselves that's restricting us.
That's right. That's so right. Yeah. I found it interesting when you said your guide is Abraham, because that's my guide as well, Abraham.
Do you know what?
I have been for a long, long while and still here. Yeah.
I bet there's a connection.
Yeah.
You see, every person we cross paths with, nothing's coincidental. Everything is synchronized. And with the guides that we share, we always connect with each other, that soul family, that soul community. So I guarantee you there's more than Abraham you share.
Honestly,
yes, there is.
Goosebumps there. And you know, and as soon as you said that, I just seen him. I just seen him again.
Yeah, they said there is
for a little while. Haven't seen him for a little while. You know, but
he's busy with Judith. That's why. You need to have a word here. He's 2 times.
I'm Hogan. I'll have to stop Hogan. But you know, we can talk to our people. Believe that we need to switch on and we need to do this whole routine. We need to do. No, we don't. We can talk to our guides just like this anytime. Yeah. If I'm out driving, I'll say to them, I play the song game. I play the song game with everybody. And it's amazing. I don't know what else to call it. I call it the song game.
Okay.
But
can you give us a flavor of the song game? I'm in.
Oh, okay. The song game. So the song game is, even for people who aren't spiritual, and everybody that's watching can do this, and it 110% works every time. So you can choose whether you want to ask a loved one or whether you want to ask a guide. Okay. So if you're asking a guide, ask them for like something that resonates with you, guidance, something that you need to focus on in your journey. If you want to ask a loved one, ask them for something that will show you that they're around you. So what you do is you just say to them, please tell me the name of a song that I don't know, so you can validate it, that I don't know, that will give me the guidance I need for my spirit team right now. Or please give me the name of a song from my loved one so that I know if there's a message in it for you, so I know it's you. whatever comes to your head straight away, you put it into YouTube. Always go with the lyrics, because when you listen, you don't take it all in. When you read that, you will go, that's 100% on point. I do this with everybody on TikTok, and I've maybe been 300 or 400, and they're all going, oh my word, this is, and they're all, they know exactly what the song means, and it's songs they've never heard of. So I do it that way, because people will go, but that's just them thinking of something that they know. Or so no, you ask for a song that you don't know, that it might sound the wackiest words, but trust it's an answer. I do it. If I'm going out with my daughter, we play it the whole way to see my mum, maybe an hour away. We do guidance. What does Judith need to know? What does my daughter need to know? So we do it the whole way. We play the game the whole way.
So I'm just getting. I did it my way, Frank Sinatra. I'm not sure if that's good. That's for you though, Judith. I did it my way.
Honestly, you can do it all day long, and it works.
So
all day long, it will work.
Yeah, this is an interesting point. Suzanne, hi Suzanne. This happens all the time. I get lyrics, I search, and there's the message.
Yeah,
it's really interesting when they do that.
Yeah, 100%. Spirit works with us through music amazingly, and they have an amazing sense of humor. I have one of my guys. I have two guys, right? And if I told you their names, you would laugh. Because I'm not being disrespectful, but they have such an amazing humor. And it's Jacob and Moses, okay? One of my ascendant masters and one of my guides. And I get up in the morning and I say to them, right, guys, I need give me a song, something to lift the vibe. I like to sing, but my family go like this, but I can't hear myself. The headphones in, it sound great. And so I am singing away, and then they just keep giving me another song. Or I'd say to them, do you know what, can you just sort my playlist out and play it? And then I just don't need to keep changing it. And they do. And if I'm having a hard day, they'll change my playlist about, and they'll put on a really dancey song, and I can see their feet in the Moses sandals, and I can see them dancing. And, you know, it gives me I'm quite a giggler. But they love the sense of humor. They love keeping me going, and they love the laugh. They love the interaction. So yeah, music, they connect with us in so many ways. We don't realize how strong they connect through music with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important.
Yeah. I don't know if you can actually see this or not, but I've got a lot of activity in my spiritual room just now. So if you keep seeing a light flashing on and off, you know, you may be.
I saw that earlier. I did see that earlier.
You see, I don't normally do my lives or any things from up here. I usually do it downstairs. But I have a little cockapoo who thinks he's a Rottweiler at the minute. He's so no. See, we're definitely connected. Well, he's just like this.
I'm just going to go. I'll go and make some tea. Right?
Go put the coffee on, Paul.
Well, I had to come up here because it was peace and quiet. But down the stairs, and people will say to me, there's something wrong with your light. And I'm going, no, honestly, there's 6 spotlights above me. And I go light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. And, but you've very strong energy, Alice. I want to say also, you've very strong energy. And I need to chat some more to see who else you share.
I know.
Definitely share more guides.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I made the mistake, Alice, of putting baubles near your head. I'm just going to take them off. There you go. I've taken them away. So if we see any more activity, your picture is now clear. Okay.
Right. Okay.
All right. Okay. So sorted. Okay. What I should do, because on StreamYard it's quite fancy. We can do this. If I change you to me, then we can sit and watch your room.
Yeah. You'll be able to.
Can you see in your window?
You should be able to see.
Can you see your window? Can you see your window? Look, do you see in your window?
Yeah, it's a bit fuzzy though.
Do you have a bear?
No,
a bear totally.
Not just the husband. You kill me.
There's a bear. There's a big bear's head looking through there right now. I have to say to you, And you definitely have it. You have a bear.
I
You have.
I do have a sorry.
Yeah.
I have actually a bear downstairs. It's a big bear as an ornament I was given as a child when I was 2. Someone
But you
gave
have a
that to
bear
my
totem.
dad.
You have a bear
Yeah.
totem as well.
No, but I've got a bear ornament.
You will.
It's a big standing one I've got. And it's really, really old. Really old. I don't mean I'm old, but the bear's old.
I can't change it. I have to tell you, you have a bear guide. You have a big bear guide. Totem guide.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're looking. Yeah, your window's quite. Yeah. Sorry, Paul.
No, you're right. Yeah, all I'm going to say is Anne Robertson has put your poor husband.
Oh, he's used to me. He's used to me.
They do get used to us, don't they?
So Judith.
Yes.
You was going to do a little something for us tonight. I'll say a little something.
Mm-hmm.
You was going to do a little exercise. Now, I'm very excited by this because we're all going to try and join in with this. Or is it something we can all do?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
So can you explain to the viewers at home that they can take part in this as well and what it is actually they're taking part in?
Okay, so as I always explain, and as I was saying, we all have guardian angels. We all have angels, archangels. They see themselves as all the same. They're there to help us. But they're very, very much with us at all times. It's the human logical side that tells us we can't feel them. And we all have loved ones who have maybe passed in spirit. So what I always do is, if on my lives, when I can't get to everyone, I do something at the end so that everybody is involved, because I just like, I feel bad. I don't like to leave anyone out. So I always do the guardian angel first, okay? Because it lets you see the difference. So I always ask if everybody's happy enough to take part, whoever wants to take part is more than welcome to. You don't need to tell me what hand. You just need to choose a hand and say if it's your right or say if it's your left, set it on your lap, relax that hand, like really, really relax that hand so that it's just floppy, okay? And I asked before I come on if I could do this with everybody's angels, and they said yes. So and if everybody can just relax that hand, okay? And I'm going to ask and get everyone's angels. You're going to feel your angel in your hand, and I'm going to hopefully let them see if they'll help close over, or I can't tell them what they can do. I'll work with them, okay? And then afterwards, we'll do a loved one, but it will be completely different. So you will feel the difference between your angel to your loved one. Again, it's a way of also helping each person, but validating the difference. Okay. So are you happy for me to go ahead and do it now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. They're telling me tingling. So somebody must be feeling tingling.
Yeah, I'm getting tingling.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask them to make it stronger to see if they can move your fingers. Stay nice and relaxed. It's important you keep that hand relaxed. So they're telling me stronger, so people must be feeling it stronger now. Paul, can you feel your fingertips, your fingers?
Yeah, and I've got something on my thumb as well. I can feel.
Yeah. I want to say there's a feeling like the hands want to kind of close a bit. Does that make sense?
That's definitely me.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that was strange.
Alice, you feeling heat, warmth?
Yeah, and I'm also feeling weight on my right hand.
Yeah.
As if something has been put on it, because I can feel a weight.
Yeah.
Like a heavy stone, like, you know, that's what it feels like. I can see a crystal stone in my hand.
Is it a clear one?
Yes, it's clear.
I'm being shown a clear quartz. So they're giving you a gift. Your angel is giving you a gift of a clear quartz crystal.
Yeah, I can see it, but I can also feel it really strongly.
Mm-hmm. Paul, I'm being told you're being given a gift also.
Yeah.
I want to tell you the color blue. They're talking to me about the color blue to you.
Yeah, it's changed hands though.
Okay.
That's funny because so is mine. Mine's changed hands. I'm now on the left hand.
Yeah, I'm not gone to the right, and mine's my left hand is burning, and my right hand feels different.
Because I was on my right hand, I can still feel the weight, but not as strong as it was. It's lighter than it was, but I can feel in my left hand. I can feel two fingers. It's like twitching.
Yeah. So I want to also say guardian angel, but there's guides. They're taking the advantage of they're connecting. They're loving that physical connection that they're connecting with you. They're asking me to do loved ones now. Is that okay? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
The loved ones. Okay. And I believe many people has felt their angel. They've just said, so I have to repeat. I can't change what they've told me as well. We'll go with what they've told me. Okay. So. This is going to be your loved one, and it will feel different, okay? Everybody will feel their loved one now, and it will feel different from what their angels felt like. So these are all going to start feeling maybe a bit more pressure. They're telling me feeling different. So you must be starting to feel a difference.
Yes, I am.
Talking about pressure. People must be feeling some pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can relax your hand, I will help as much as I can. I don't know how many's on stream, but if you relax, I will see if I can help them close your hand for you. So they're telling me if there's feelings of hands wanting to close, don't resist it. Just let them move those fingers, let them move them thumbs, that hand.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling it.
Okay, I'm going to try and help them close your hands.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
There's hands starting to close.
My right hand is starting to close.
So is mine, Paul.
It's bizarre.
It's an amazing feeling though.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's like a reverse pressure.
They're shouting love. They're giving so much love right now. I'm feeling so much love with everyone's loved ones. It's just so much love. They're talking about so much love. So there's more movement. Fingers feel like they're being moved up. There's more hands closing.
It's a cold sensation around the hand.
My hand's really starting to. Oh yeah.
Starting to move on its own, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This is amazing.
Paul, I want to say to you about your fingers.
Yeah.
Oh.
More pressure on your fingers, like they're wanting to move up in now.
Yeah.
I've got two fingers that are now touching.
Okay.
The thumb, and the one next to it.
I'm going to help them close your hand, Alice. Come over, like close it over, okay? The more you just let that hand relax, the more they can control that hand and close that hand for you. And remember, it is your loved one. It is your loved one. Some people are feeling like pressure pushing down on their fingers to close them over now. Some people might be feeling it stronger.
Oh yeah, it really is. It's moving. Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, some people will be feeling it tighter.
Yeah, I know this is as well.
So do
Just
I.
about to say, Paul, you know who this is. They just said to me, Paul, you said it before I could say.
Yeah.
That's my hands just about closing over now.
You're feeling warmth around you now, Paul.
Yeah.
You're feeling their love. Mostly everybody's feeling that now. I don't know what people are saying, but I want to say mostly everybody will be feeling their hands.
Yeah. I think everyone's busy in the exercise
with that hand doing it. As I know, it's the most beautiful experience. Not only can we physically feel them, not only can they physically move us, like they can move us, they can hug us.
That's the shape of my hand. I got that far.
Yeah.
And I could start to feel there were certain things. Obviously, I could feel the person because I knew the conditions he had and how he passed, and I could feel all of that. So someone
he was validating for you, Paul.
Yeah, and someone's asked me, do I not do these exercises? I don't know, because I've got a fairly good connection with my spirit team, and I feel my loved ones quite regularly. So I'm quite lucky. But it's a good exercise. It's a really good exercise for people that need that confirmation. Absolutely. I love that.
I kept trying to put so many different things that we can do. There is. They will physically, they will ask, can I move this object? And they keep getting the objects to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, do you know what? I'll try. I'll go for it. And they just go off their hand, or
I kept trying to put a piece of willow in my hand. I don't know what that was about.
Yes. And like, even if, say, I've done people where their loved one would say, okay, close your eyes and put this in your hand, but really they'd have done something else. And their loved one will do that. Instead of doing their hand, they'll knock the books off beside them, or they'll do something, it is who they are. And they have been absolutely amazing. Yeah. And we just need to learn to get out of our own way and let spirit teach us what we are.
It is a good exercise to do for people who need that confirmation, but like as Paul said, I feel spirit around me, so does Paul. We feel spirit around me. I feel them touch me anyway. And I get lots of activity as well. But actually sitting doing it as an exercise is a little bit different, because
absolutely.
It is. Yeah, because you're asking them to do something where normally you don't ask and it just happens.
Yes.
So that was very good. Yeah.
There's so many different things we can do.
And being a guy, I'm sorry, ladies, I always look for the logical explanation first, because I think so what got me with that exercise was the reverse pressure. So when the doctor was asking you to squeeze his finger and for check your grip and stuff, it was like a reverse of that. So that, for me, that was more authentic than anything else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if you're still skeptical, I can ask for another different loved one to come forward, and they will feel different again.
Yeah.
So they will keep validating and validating. But spirit very much are really, they're pushing our boundaries. They're trying to show us we're restricting ourselves so much. It's ourself that's stopping ourselves from letting spirit teach us what we can really, really do. There's so much more we still have to learn, and it's amazing what else we have to learn and what else is coming. I get quite excited because I just love my journey. I love my work, and I love spirit.
And things are changing. And when we interviewed Libby last week, she was talking about spirit are changing the way they work. And are you finding that, Judith? I know you work in quite a unique way. And Libby was mentioning about how spirit are finding or able to manipulate the messages to bring more. Manipulate is the wrong word, because that implies something sinister, but they're able to bring more healing within the messages that mediums are giving.
Absolutely. you know, and I know there's amazing trance mediums out there. I know we all work differently, and I would never disempower or say anything that would offend anyone in any way. I genuinely wouldn't. But how spirit are now coming forward, and they'd say about the new era of mediumship, the new, like, things has changed massively. They're doing things with us that we don't necessarily have to go into the dark. We don't have to work with like certain, like a red light, and that's okay if you do. That's not the saying you're doing anything wrong. But they're very much showing that we don't need all this stuff. And part of, I actually sat down and had this good conversation with my spirit team and said, you know, why are you showing me? Why are you training me this way? Why are you physically moving objects and things? Like on Saturday night, they levitated a photograph of a loved one's hand, and I was like, whoa, okay. You know, so it takes me by surprise sometimes. And they said to me that spirit has always been quite clever. They've always been capable of doing quite a lot. Back in the Victorian times, this, you know, the physical phenomena, the real, it got sometimes a bad name because it was trickery sometimes. And, you know, so it's people found it harder to believe. So because I do it like this, so I would have video duets on, and I ask, can you please, because I know we're all skeptics, you know, you have to be able to show it and prove it. So I would say to them, are you happy to show your physical in front of everybody, what you're feeling? I gave mediums readings, and I physically moved objects off their hands. So they want us to know that we don't need all these different tools. We just need the self-belief. And that's some of the hardest things, is self-belief in ourselves, as to how far we think we believe in ourselves, as to how far spirit can actually go. We can go we're the ones putting the limits on it. They're capable of so much more. And moving objects is just, they've said to me, look, this is just the beginning. Moving objects is literally, it's just the beginning. I know I have this, my spiritual, I actually said to them, you know, I'm not psychic. I don't really am into the psychic bit. And it's nothing against anyone or a defense, but I feel it's not the right term for me. There's just something doesn't work the right term for me. So they said to me, spiritual surgery. And I went, okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, that sounds all right for me. And so, like, they don't push you, they don't force you, they guide you. And if you're really eager to learn and to push those boundaries and say, do you know what, I trust you, tell me what I can do, and I figure it out and I'll work it, they will. But spirit has said that this is very much only beginning. The new year of mediumship is definitely going to show so much more. This is just the tip of the iceberg as to what we can now do with spirit.
Yeah, it has been a brilliant show tonight, and we've only touched on the tip of the iceberg. It kind of feels like with you, Judith. It's been an absolute pleasure. I don't know about you, Alice. It's been great fun.
It's been great. Absolutely great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. I've loved it. And I love, we're all here to share knowledge and help, and it's nice. So thank you.
That's what makes it even more beautiful, us all just getting together and bringing it together, the love of spirit world.
Absolutely.
The way it should be. I think so we're meant to help each other, empower each other, and love and light, and along that journey. And
couple of things before you go. Firstly, we'd like you to pick a name from someone who shared. So if you've shared, guys, please remind us you've shared, and you've won a free half-hour reading. And we'll go from there. Also, as it's Christmas, Judith,
yes,
is there anything you'd like to share with anybody, as in a spirit message, maybe for, you know, is there something your guides can give us, a little message? I'll put you right on the spot now, haven't I?
Yeah. I'm going to ask them, is there anything they would like to say, or if they just like me to say? They're okay. They're just that they're reminding me that at the moment it's very much homeless with me. I'm very much understanding what it's like to be homeless. I have a teenage daughter, have other grandchildren, and I understand Santa coming and all this. And sometimes we really don't understand how much it is to have so little, but yet to be so grateful for what we have.
Yeah.
I spoke to a gentleman who was homeless last night. Most intellectual, beautiful man, lovely energy. And he was trying to figure out how to gift to the volunteers. And this was somebody who had nothing. So that struck a chord with me. So if you see someone just maybe needing that warm cup of tea, or on Christmas Day when we're with our families and we're celebrating and we're enjoying our family company, please just remember that there's ones that don't have that opportunity or that privilege at times, and it's for many different reasons.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I'm very humbled and very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you pick a name off the side of the comments? Can you see the comments?
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Technology wins again.
Please excuse me. Oh my word, please excuse me.
Okay, if you look on the right hand side.
Yes, I'm seeing them all now. Oh, I feel so bad. Please excuse me.
Awesome.
I didn't know. Anybody knows me knows I just thought technology and me. Okay.
And while you're doing that, next week it's myself, Alice, and Jane is back, and we've got a Christmas special. We've got a Christmas message from Libby's Guides from next week, and we're going to be doing some messages as well, aren't we, Alice? So I'm sorry we overrun this week. Jay's put, Paul, when are you going to start doing a 2-hour show? Maybe we should. I don't know, but I'm sure you'll get fed up with it, guys. But thank you for those that have watched tonight. We really appreciate it. You can always catch us again on Spiritual Talk Live on Alice's. What's your page, Alice?
Alice Psychic Medium.
You can always catch it on there, or on Jane Dances as well, on her YouTube page, as well as Spiritual Talk Live.
Or I've also got Sparkle of Light Spiritual Center as well. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Sorry, Judith.
You're okay. Can I pick Carl Phillips? Carl
Phillips. Where are you, Carl Phillips? I was going to put him up.
Carl Phillips.
Oh, Carol Phillips.
Yes.
Who's Carl? I know his mum, Carol.
Yeah.
So, okay, awesome. Lovely job. All right. Well done, Carol. You've won. Congratulations. And we'll be back this time next week. Oh, I'm doing a demonstration at Roydon. So if you're in Roydon with myself and John Julian, look out for that. It's a Christmas special. We're going to have a memory tree there as well. But for now, guys, we'll see you this time. Well, not this time next week. Next week at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Thank you, Judith. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Take
joining.
care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.